featuring New Zealand's Jason Stewart.
44.86. And the New Zealander, Jason Stewart, national champion.
There is the 24-year-old from Napier.
Starting from lane 6.
Jason Stewart with the best time of 1:46.19, which he did in Europe in July of last year, which got him here to the Commonwealth Games. He has the 4th fastest time in this heat, but only 2 qualify for the next round, along with the 2 fastest losers straight through to the final. Achraf Tadeli from Canada down on the inside in lane number 1. Nigel Leonce from Lucia in lane number 2. In lane 3 is Gamanda Ram from India. John Latai Nkamasiai from Kenya in 5. Jason Stewart and Samuel Chigeri from Tanzania in 7. Big moment here for Jason Stewart. Ran at the World Track and Field Championships in Helsinki and was a finalist at the World Junior Track and Field Championships in Chile 6 years ago as a youngster. Off on this first heat. Needs to finish ideally in the first 2 to be sure of a place in the final. It's a big ask for Stewart. As I said, he only has the 4th fastest time in this heat. Starting in lane number 6 as he chops down, and it's the Kenyan, as you'd expect, John Latai, who's setting the pace in this race, and Jason Stewart knows he's got to be handy to the pace, and that's where he has settled in behind the Canadian Tadela.
He just needs to settle in there. Stay where he is, take the shortest route round, be patient, wait for the gaps to open, don't do anything too erratic too soon. It's not that quick. It's going to be well outside 50 seconds. He's moved through comfortably without even leaving the curb into second place. My advice would be to just stay there. 53.04. That's pretty modest.
Absolutely where he wants to be, right down on the inside. In the second place, stay with the Kenyan, I guess, is the thought in his mind. And if he can stick with this fellow, he may well pull him through into a place in the final. But the race will no doubt, and the pace will no doubt, quicken over the last 200 metres, but still no move from anyone. Very much an Indian fight at the 200-metre mark. Still Jason Stewart in second place. What's he got left up the home straight? Looks pretty fresh at the moment. He's got the Canadian right on his back. Then the Indian. Gamandaran in 4th place, but away goes John Latai, the Kenyan. Now the race is on for second place. Stewart starting to tie up a little, and looks as if the Canadian might just overtake him, but he's hanging in there. Will need to hope that he can go through as the fastest loser. Very close there for Jason Stewart. It was only in the last 10 metres that he got run down. 1:46.55. No problems for John Latai, the Kenyan. He's safely through to the final, as is Achraf Tadeli from Canada. And the New Zealander Jason Stewart, considering he had only the 4th fastest time in the field, did a pretty good job. Ran a smart race. Just didn't have the kick when he needed it over the last 50 metres to fend off the challenge from Tadeli for that automatic spot in the final.
1:47.74 Jason Stewart's time. He is at the moment the fastest loser, but we do have 2 more heats to go. My gut feel is that it won't be fast enough, but this is a pretty thin Commonwealth 800 metres competition. It's normally one of the strongest at the Commonwealth, but we've got just 19 athletes looking for 8 places in a final. And Stewart, he did everything right, but in the end he just didn't have it in his legs. I saw him run a good race in Europe last year in Belgium at Heusden. Not in that sort of form here, I'm afraid. And the last 10 or 15 metres cost him dearly here. But 1:47.74 will be the target of 2 athletes in the 2 remaining heats. So it's a bit of a long wait. The next 10 or 15 minutes It'll probably seem like an hour and a half to Jason Stewart to see if he goes through as a fast loser.
Here is the lineup for the final. Jason Stewart in the end qualifying quite comfortably, actually, 1:47.74. Only 4 of the field, actually, in fact, only 3 of the field ran faster than him.